We just dropped in for the dive and we're greeted by this little green sea turtle. And if you look at the back, look at the shell, that little thing sticking up out of its shell. That is a barnacle, but really, if you look close, see the little catcher's mitt opening up on top? That is actually, it's Siri. It's kind of like a crab-like creature. And this is a Goliath grouper. Now, and I don't know what that is. Some sort of is that a pizza box? I don't know. So our first lionfish that we see, let's take him out. And boom. Perfect shot. Little tiny one. Oh my gosh. Now, we're going to go ahead and feed this guy to a lobster, but sometimes it's fun to kind of like play around with the lobster a little bit. You're going to give him this lionfish and see if you can kind of pick him up. See if it, well, it didn't work that time. Let's try it again. Let's put it, oh, perfect. Whee! He just, there he is shooting back into his hole. He's a little annoyed. Okay, here's the fish. Here's the fish, bro. Now, normally people, it's lobster season right now. Normally people would just take this lobster and then they would go kill it. So don't be upset. Look at that. He scares out a little strawberry grouper with his little antenna. So don't be upset that we're playing with the lobster a little bit. Normally he would have been dead by now. And there's a bull shark. Sometimes you just look up from your dive and then you see, and oh, 2 bull sharks. 2 pretty good sized bull sharks. We ended up finding a good number of bull sharks on this dive. It was pretty darn cool. We had, boom! So back to that barnacle. So barnacles you can actually cause the turtle, look at this, 2-in-1. You can actually cause the turtle pain by pulling off the barnacle, and stress that might really upset the turtle by trying to grab it. There's a pretty one I was able to sneak up on. So people say, oh, take the barnacles off. And, you know, once, oh, this is too cool to talk over. Now that eel isn't being hunted by these jacks. That eel is using, look at the yellow coloration. Oh my gosh, they just changed color because they got excited. The eel is scaring up little food items for these guys, and that's why they're following him around. They're just using him as a buddy to hunt with. This cave is what we call the airplane hangar cave. And typically it has a lionfish, maybe 12 lionfish, but now it just has a nurse shark sleeping. And there's so many minnows that are always in this cave, and there's always tons of lionfish, but not anymore. We've removed them so much that they're not really around anymore. Another big Goliath grouper. There must have been some mating going on the reef because there's all of these big-ass Goliath groupers. It's super cool. And there's a nice little sock puppet. This guy's really cautious. He says, you got anything for me? Look at his little eye. It looks like one of those little Google eyes that you glue to things. Super cute. So back to that barnacle once again. They have what's called Siri, and it's basically a crab with little light, fluffy, feather-like catcher's mitts they put out to catch things. So being on the back of a sea turtle is a really cool place to be if you're a barnacle, because then you get to fly around with a sea turtle collecting all kinds of tasty treats for the next up to 20 years of your life. They live 5 to 10 years on average, but they've been known to live up to 20 years. And people will, a little plastic there, people will remove them if they're on their boat because they slow down the boat dramatically. If there's a lot of barnacles on the bottom of the hole is meant to be smooth. And if there's a whole bunch of barnacles, they create a not smooth, texture on the bottom, and therefore slows down the movement of the boat dramatically. So that's why they're removed on boats. So unless they're hurting a turtle to where it can't function properly and it's causing great issues. Look at this little tiny Goliath. He was tiny. Look at that. Now, he looked big compared to the other fish, but he's tiny for a Goliath. And these barracudas were a little ominous. Sometimes you come up on these great barracudas and just boom! There's so many, it's ridiculous. We are in Turks and Caicos right now hunting lionfish. I'm about to go out in the boat and do some swimming with whales. So I'm very excited to show you that, even more excited than this green eel. We have some really cool experiences with whales already, and boom! We went down to about 115 feet yesterday and got a few lionfish. So I'm going to be posting a video on those dives very soon. So won't you come along with us on those ones? Look at all this beautiful angelfish. Oh my goodness. Now this is what our outside reef looks like. It's just kind of ugly, nothing too much going on. If you put some flashlight actually on the reef, it's quite pretty. There's a lot of color. Little slippery dick fish. And whoo! There he goes. You can wonder where they got their name from. They're also called a tilefish. Here we go. Look at that cute little guy. Look at his little fins. That's a huge pufferfish. They actually look pretty skinny until they blow up. This is an intermediate, a juvenile, if you will. Not quite an adult. They're much much different color when they're even smaller than that. But look at this guy. These guys are all feasting on this little bit of lionfish skin. You can see that everything gets eaten when it goes into the ocean. It doesn't matter what it is, it's going to get eaten by something. Later, guys. Thank you so much.